Okay, we have two amazing mid-size RMC roller coasters. Check. We have two of our top 5 roller coasters for us in 2023. Check. Well, I guess it's time for our first ever Coaster Clash to begin. Hey everybody, it's Paul from the 125 Roller Coaster Challenge, and today we're kicking off our first ever Coaster Clash video. Every year we want to grow and expand our video concepts and series, and 2 weeks ago we had our first ever park showdown between Clementon Park and Niagara Amusement Park, which you can see in the link above. Expanding on that series, we want to compare two similar roller coasters in a shorter video format, hence the Coaster Clash series was born. Today we're going to be comparing Twisted Timbers at Kings Dominion in Virginia against one of the newest RMC roller coasters, Wildcat's Revenge, at our home park, Hersheypark. We're going to be comparing them on numerous different categories, which include layout, ride experience, theming, fun factor, and more. Both of these rides are in our top 5 roller coasters for 2023, with Twisted Timbers, which used to be a past number 1 coaster, checking in now at number 5, while Wildcat's Revenge entered our rankings at number 3. So sit back and relax as we get ready for the clash. Kicking off this video, let's get some of the coaster stats. Twisted Timbers opened in March 24th, 2018 and was a conversion of the wooden coaster Hurler, which was themed during the Paramount Park days, pretty much after Wayne's World the movie. It has a height of 111 feet, a track length of 3,361 feet, it hits 54 miles per hour and has 3 inversions. This roller coaster is all about airtime, and it has you flying out of your seat from the barrel roll drop till it slams into the brake run. Wildcat's Revenge is actually the 3rd coaster at Hersheypark to have Wildcat in its name. It's a conversion of the first ever GCI roller coaster named, Wildcat, and it is simply a huge improvement. Stat-wise, it's pretty similar to Twisted Timbers, with it being a little bit higher at 140 feet, having a track length of 3,510 feet, 4 inversions, and hitting a speed of 62 miles per hour. It opened this past year in June and has a lot of improvements over the older RMC roller coaster. So the stat battle goes to Wildcat's Revenge, but it's a lot closer than you would think with 5 years of technology in its favor. Now let's check out the location in the park. Wildcat's Revenge is in the back of the park in the Midway America section. It's located along a path that basically takes you to Laugh Track and Lightning Racer, and because of this, it gets a lot of foot traffic. The biggest plus for its location is that being in the back of the park, it's right along the main road called Hersheypark Drive, so it's actually one of the first things you see when you enter Hershey, Pennsylvania. Twisted Timbers is the anchor of the rethemed area called Candy Apple Grove. When the coaster opened, it brought people back to that area, which was usually pretty dead, because the only thing really in that area is the diner and Apple Zapple, which is their mouse coaster. People come to this area for Twisted Timbers. They don't get much walk by. The winner, once again, for location, goes to Wildcat's Revenge. Now let's talk theming. This one goes to Twisted Timbers, and it's not even close. While Wildcat's Revenge has amazing trains and the logo, Twisted Timbers has an entire story that centers around not just the ride, but also the entire Candy Apple Grove section. Cedar Fair really outdid themselves with the queue theming and the signage and even the entrance to this ride. So now we're at 2-1 with Wildcat's Revenge in the lead. Now let's get into the actual ride experience. Both coasters have solid queue lines, and we discussed the theming advantage that Twisted Timbers has, but what really sets these two apart is their locker situation. When it comes to RMC roller coasters, your pockets need to be empty, but how both of these rides go about it is some of the best that we have ever seen in the industry. Wildcat's Revenge has 2-way lockers that you encounter right before you reach the stairs. The attendants ask you to empty your pockets, and the system works pretty well. Twisted Timbers also has 2-way lockers, but they have one additional thing that gives them the advantage in this situation, and that is metal detectors. Now this might seem a little bit too much, but the reality is that people lie. People think the rules are stupid and that the rules don't apply to them. And you will actually be shocked how many times we are in line and everybody beeps when they enter the metal detector. So for this portion of line safety, the win goes to Twisted Timbers, and now we're tied. Now the station and the dispatches is where Wildcat's Revenge really shines. Twisted Timbers has a standard station situation where the guest exits, the riders enter, the ride attendants check the seatbelts and the lap bar, and the ride goes on. Yes, all RMC coasters have procedures that are very unique, but most of these parks tend to have their A groups operating these rides. Wildcat's Revenge wins because the trains come into the station empty. No, the people didn't fall out, but rather while the train in front is loading, there is a station right behind there where the pass riders exit and proceed to the lockers. This system really works great and does really speed up the process a lot. The winner is Wildcat's Revenge. So we are now halfway done with this video and we are finally getting to the actual ride. But before we do, thanks for watching the channel, and if you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to this channel. We are hitting 60 parks this year and riding at least 125 different roller coasters. So subscribe and make sure that you don't miss a thing. It's really a simple click for you, but it really means a lot to us. Alright, now let's discuss the actual rides. Twisted Timbers is all about ejector air, which is kind of surprising because the first two ride elements you hit are the barrel roll drop, which is my personal favorite, and a huge wave turn. But after that, it's all ejector air with a few breaks with inversions in between. It's a quick ride, but it's going to leave you breathless. Wildcat's Revenge is a little bit of everything. You have a near vertical drop, a unique overhang, a stall, inversions, and so much more. While Twisted Timbers goes around in smaller and smaller circles, Wildcat's Revenge zigzags around itself and really gives you an overall amazing ride. The winner for this section really depends on what you're looking for, so we're going to give it a tie. If you're in the mood for flying out of your seats, well, that's going to be Twisted Timbers. But if you're looking for a ride that twists and turns and zigs and zags, well, that's all about Wildcat's Revenge. Now we have two more categories with condition and then the all-around fun factor. Both rides are fairly new, and even though there is more wear and tear on the trains of Twisted Timbers, let's see how well Wildcat's Revenge holds up in 5 years. Both are in great condition, and both are incredibly smooth for a roller coaster. That leaves Wildcat's Revenge still up by 1 point with one last category. Now, fun is subjective, but if you're getting in line for either one of these rides, you and I tend to have the same definition of fun. Flying around a coaster track until our body can't take anymore, that's how I want to spend my days. So now it's time for our opinion. We have one last ride of the night. Both coasters have no line. Which coaster do we ride? Now this is not an easy decision, but for us there is a clear winner, which would probably be shocking to most people. So I'm jumping in line for Twisted Timbers. Wait, isn't Wildcat's Revenge ranked higher in your Simply the Best rankings? Yep, but for some reason, Twisted Timbers is just more fun. While Wildcat's Revenge has more elements, a unique layout, and is taller, faster, and newer, we can marathon Twisted Timbers all day. We were able to ride it on Media Day in 2018, and we've been loving it more and more every visit. Now, everyone who follows us knows that my favorite element is the barrel roll drop, and that's the main reason why Iron Gwazi is our top coaster. That death roll is simply amazing. But it isn't just that. We know every twist and turn on Twisted Timbers, and we can't help ourselves but to jump right back in line after each ride. So we're going to give the fun factor to Twisted Timbers, which makes this coaster clash a tie. While we have no clear winner on our end, the fact that out of 363 coasters that we have ridden, both of these are top 5 has to tell you that either ride is definitely worth every wait. So what do you think of these rides? Do you have a favorite? What factor is most important to you? Let us know in the comment section below. Check out our must ride and making the grade videos to see more on our coaster rankings and what we think about the different coasters. And thanks again for watching. We can't wait to have you join us this summer as we ride to 125.